there, this is Treat Your Dog, a weekly podcast about baking for those who appreciate it the most, your dogs. I'm Danielle of DoggyDessertChef.com, and with me is my co-host Dirk. Dirk does all of the artwork for the site, and more of his work can be found at dirkart.com, and he's also my husband.
Howdy.
Each week, Dirk or I will bake up a tasty treat, and you can bake along with us. For those that aren't familiar, I started Doggy Dessert Chef many years ago for my first dog, Brooke. Brooke was a fantastic dog.
I love that dog.
And as he got older, his stomach started to get a little sensitive. So I had to pay a little more attention to what I was feeding him. And as a dog that loved his treats, there was no way I could completely cut them out of his diet. After looking at the ingredients of the treats in the stores, I knew I had to make my own. I started coming up with my own recipes, which Brooke absolutely loved.
That dog loved to eat.
I think that's kind of where he got the nickname Big B. So I thought there may be other dog owners in the same situation that would enjoy having a place they could find recipes for delicious homemade dog treats. Sadly, Brooke left us a couple years ago, but his legacy lives on through the site and in our two dogs, Pee-wee and Rose. Now that you know who we are, let's get baking. This week's recipe is for honey cheesy zucchini treats. Before you get started, you're going to need to grate a zucchini. This recipe calls for a cup of grated zucchini, but if your zucchini is a little smaller, it's okay if you end up with less than a full cup. Prepare your baking sheet, line it with parchment paper, foil, or a silicone baking mat, and set it aside. Then preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Along with a cup of zucchini, you'll need half a cup of grated cheese, 1 teaspoon of honey, and 2 mint leaves chopped, and a cup of spelt flour. I've already got all my ingredients ready set up. Everything's all measured out, so I'll just mix them in this bowl all together. You want to make sure you get everything mixed up completely because these are cookie cutter treats, and the better mixed up they are, the smoother a dough that you get rolled out. Now, I do have a tip for your honey. I'm not quite sure where I heard this, but if you spray your measuring spoon or measuring cup with some oil or grease or something before you put that honey in there, it'll slide out a whole lot easier. Now that you've got all your ingredients in a bowl, you want to stir it up. Like I said, make sure everything is very combined. Once you've got that all mixed together, knead it into a ball and then roll it out onto a floured surface so you can cut it with the cookie cutter of your choice. Once you've got all your cookies cut out, you're going to want to put it in your oven and bake it for 10 to 15 minutes until lightly browned at the edges. So I'll let you cut out those cookies and get that in the oven, and we'll get back to you once they're all done and crispy. Treats are done. Make sure you let them cool completely before giving them to your dog. As you can see, that cheese is a little bubbly and hot. We certainly don't want anyone to get burned. I got about 2 to 3 dozen, about 2.5 dozen with my 1-inch square cookie cutter. If your cookie cutter was bigger or smaller, obviously your yield will vary. I hope your dogs enjoy these tasty treats. Make sure you put the ones they don't eat right away in the refrigerator. And of course, there's a link to the recipe in the comments. Thank you so much for baking with me today. Come back next week for another tasty treat. Happy baking! All these recipes have been carefully researched, but we cannot rule out the possibility of food intolerances, and it is essential that you speak with your veterinarian before feeding your dog any homemade treats. For more recipes, visit DoggyDessertChef.com or find us on Facebook, Doggy Dessert Chef, where you can join our Treat Your Dog podcast group. Don't forget to subscribe for more treat recipes.